So in this latest video looking at Venn diagrams, we'll be focusing on how to complete a Venn diagram based on exam style questions. Now before completing a Venn diagram, it's really important you know all the different parts of the diagram. Now here we've got two sort of groups. We've got group A and we've got group B. Now these terms of shading is not done in a particular order, but it's just more for in sort of diagram purposes. So this pink area to start off with is the area that is neither A or B, and this blue area are the bits that are both A and B. Now this orange area is all of A, and this red area is all of B. And if we look at another couple of examples, and now looking at this diagram here, now this blue area where you've coloured in or shaded in both the two circles is basically A or B. Now obviously this is including both. So if a question said A or B but not both, then what I would have to do is I would have to ignore this red section. But again, in some cases that's not going to be the case. And looking at the next diagram, this green shaded area is just A. And basically A and not B, and this purple area is just B, also known as B but not A. And what's also important that gets a bit underrated is basically everything. So this contains the total population. So basically all numbers that are included in this Venn diagram need to add up to the grand total, or if it's related to probability or percentage, it needs to add up to 1 or 100 respectively. So when completing a Venn diagram, it's really important that you read the information carefully, and a good starting point is always starting with the middle part and then working through the information to complete the rest. So let's have a look at some examples. So for the following examples, we need to represent the information in a Venn diagram before answering the questions. Now in this particular set of questions, there's no indication for us to use a Venn diagram, so it's really important that you kind of establish when a Venn diagram will be useful, and usually that's going to be the case of when there is some overlapping, so when there's something that can appear in both. So it says here that a group of 20 boys, 6 have blue eyes, 13 have fair hair, and 4 have both blue eyes and fair hair. How many people have neither blue eyes nor fair hair? Now, so what we're going to do is we're going to represent this particular scenario in a Venn diagram. So here, the blue circle represents blue eyes, and the gold, I would say, represents fair hair. Let's use the colour pen. Now, in terms of the information, so I know that the box must contain, so the box must add up to 20. And the reason why it must add up to 20 is because I've got 20 boys in total. And the next thing I also know, that this next bit of information, that 6 have blue eyes. So the blue circle must add up to 6, and that the yellow circle, the golden circle, so the gold, it doesn't really come out well, the gold circle must add up to 13. And then finally that both, and the middle section must add up to 4. And that's exactly where I'm going to start. So this middle section is 4. Now, using our knowledge of that the blue circle needs to add up to 6, well, if there's 4 in this middle section, then that means that there must be 2 in just the blue, because obviously the whole numbers added together in the blue circle need to add up to 6. So 6 minus 4 gives me 2. Now the gold circle, that needs to add up to 13. So if there's 4 in the middle, then that means that there needs to be 9 in the sort of area that just represents fair hair. And again, apologies if you can't really see that. Let me just write it in black. Just quickly write this. So the gold circle must add up to 13. And like it does. Now, looking at the top instruction, it says that the box must add up to 20. So here I've got, if I add up the numbers inside the groups, so I've got 2 plus 4, which is 6, plus 9, which is 15. So 20 minus 15 is going to give me 5. And the question's asking me how many have neither blue eyes or fair hair, and that answer then is going to be 5, because I've got 5 outside the 2, and I shouldn't really put a circle around it. Let's just quickly get rid of that, and so 5 there would be my final answer. So let's move on to the next one. So it says here that a group of 24 girls, 18 like oranges and 7 like bananas, and 4 like neither oranges or bananas. So first of all, let's get this information down in terms of the key points. So here we've got 24 girls, so the total must add up to 24. Now 18 like oranges, so if I just label these two, so I've got oranges and I've got bananas. Let's go for blue. So I've got O and B. So the oranges must add up to a total of 18, and the blue circle for bananas must add up to 7. Now it also says that neither, for like neither, so the number outside must add up to 4. So filling in the numbers, I've got 4. Now from this, what we've got is, we know that the two circles combined, so this total area of those two represent 20. And how I've got that number is because I know that there's 24 people in total, so if there's 4 outside, then these must add up to 20 altogether. Now for this, looking at the two numbers that I know the orange circle adds up to 18, and I know the blue circle adds up to 7. So 18 plus 7 gives me 25. Now I've got a discrepancy here of 5. So that means that the difference between the two means that there must be 5 in the middle. Now again, going back to this, I know that the orange circle needs to add up to 18. So if there's 5 on this side in the middle, then that means there needs to be 13 on the outside of, on the side of the inside the orange circle. Then for the blue, I've got 5 in the middle part, so that must mean that I've got 2 left on this side in the other part of the blue circle. Now again, adding this up, they all should add up to 24. So again, just doing the quick maths, I've got 13 plus 5, which is 18, plus 2, which is 20, plus 4, 24, so that's all looking good. Now the question's asking how many like both oranges or bananas, and what this question's asking for is what is this middle section. So here the answer again would be 5. Then moving on to another question. So here it says 24 out of a class of 32 students study history or geography or both. 15 students study history but not geography, 5 study geography but not history. Find the number of students who, and then we've got our two questions. So A is study both history and geography, and B do not study history. So again, I've got my two sort of loop Venn diagram. So I'm going to represent history and I'm going to represent geography. So let's have a look at what this information tells me. So basically it tells me that 24 out of 32 students are going to be inside both the green and the purple circle. So to work out how many people aren't going to be inside those circles, so again, so let me just colour that in. So those two circles need to add up to 24. So if I then do 32 take away 24, which leaves me with 8, that means that 8 students are not going to study history or geography. Now looking at the next bit of information, it says that 15 students study history but not geography. Now the area that's history but not geography is going to be this region here. So that must mean that this must add up to 15. It also then says that 5 study geography but not history, and that area is this here. So that there must add up to 5. Now knowing that the total box needs to add up, so the total box needs to add up to 32, well I've got 4 parts and I've got 3 of the numbers, so I've got 15 plus 5, which is 20, plus 8, which is 28. 32 take away 28 is going to leave me with 4, so that means that this middle number must be 4. So the answer to A is 4. Now the next question then says, for B, how many students do not study history? Now for not studying history, that's all the numbers that are not in the green circle. So it's basically not history is all of those parts. Now notice that I'm shading the bits that I want rather than the bits that I don't want. So do not study history, and if I highlight that in a red, so it's going to be this number plus this number. So it's going to be 5 plus 8, which is 13, and there is my final answer. Now if a question asks you for probability, then all you need to do is how many are in that particular part, and then divide that by the total. So here all the probabilities will be out of 32 depending on the wording of the question. So looking at our next example, we've got 35 members of a horticultural society were asked if they grew alpines, begonias or cacti. The results showed that 4 grew all 3 types of plant, 3 grew both begonias and cacti but not alpines, 6 grew both alpines and cacti, 10 grew only cacti, 5 grew only begonias, 3 grew only alpines, and 8 grew exactly 2 of the 3 types. So for this, as we've got 3 types of plants, we need to have 3 circles, and obviously because there's going to be some overlap, we need to make sure that we arrange it in the following sort of arrangement. So to start off with, let's first label our group. So we've got A, we've got B, and we've got C. Now, in terms of reading the information that's given to us in this particular question, it says that 35 members, so that means that the grand total needs to be 35. So in other words, the total of the entire box, all the numbers need to add up to 35. Now looking at the key bits of information, it says that 4 grew 3 types of plant, so that means that the middle section needs to add up to 4. It then says that 3 grew both begonias but cacti but not alpine, so the area that is both B and C but not A is going to be this region here, which I'm not going to do circles because I shouldn't really be doing that, but it's going to be that region there. And let's just get a colour highlighter and let's go for red. So this region here is going to be 3. And then looking at the next one, so here let's go for purple. So it says 6 grew both alpine and cacti. Now the area that is both alpine and cacti is going to be this region here. So everywhere that is grouped in that sort of lilac shading needs to add up to 6. Now if 4 is in the middle, then that means that this part here needs to add up to 2. Then we've got 10 grew only cacti, so that's going to be 10 grow only C, so this area here is a bit that's only C, so that there is 10. Then moving on to the next one, I'm slowly running out of colours, so it says 5 grew only begonias, so the area that's only B is this region here, so that there is going to be number 5. And then it says that 3 grew only alpines, so again using a different colour, let's go for green. So only alpine, so only A is this region here, and that's going to be 3. Now it also then says that 8 grew exactly 2 of the 3 types. Now the areas that's 2 out of the 3 is basically this region here, the 3, and this region here. So those 3 numbers need to add up to 8. So here I've got 2 plus 3, which is 5. So this region here must add up, must equal 3. And there I've got my completed Venn diagrams. I'm just going to make the numbers a little bit clearer for you to see without deleting anything. So let's bring that circle back. Oh, keep deleting it. Don't think it's going to allow me to get rid of that double underline. So we'll just stop trying to do it. So here you can see that I've got my numbers inside my Venn diagram. The only one that I'm missing is the fact that they all need to add up to 35. So I've got 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 2 plus 5 plus 3 plus 10. And if I add these up, I've got 3 plus 3, which is 6, 10, 12, 17, 20, 30. So that adds up to 30, and 35 minus 30 equals 5. So that means that 5 do not grow either A, B or C. So once we've got this completed Venn diagram, now I can answer the questions. And I would say, even though it's not really explicit that I need to use a Venn diagram, it should now make answering these questions a heck of a lot easier. So looking at this, it says how many people did not grow any of these 3 types of plants? Well, we can see that straight away, and the fact that we've got 5. So the answer to this question for A is going to be 5. Then it says how many people grew both alpines and begonias? Well, alpines and begonias is A and B, which is this region here. And so because it doesn't grow C, it's just a case of how many grew both alpines and begonias. So that's going to be an answer of 7. And if the question was how many grew alpines and begonias but not cacti, then that answer would be 3. So that's why the answer is not 3. And then finally it says how many people grew cacti? So what's the total content of the green circle? So that's going to be 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 10, which adding up, so it's 4, 6, 9, 19. So the answer there is 19. So moving on to our last example, and I would say this one's going to be quite a tricky one. So it says that a survey of some adults who enjoy at least one of the activities art, music and drama gave the following information. It says that 53% enjoy art, 6% enjoy art and music but not drama, 27% enjoy art and drama, 22% enjoy music and drama, 10% enjoy only drama, and 15% enjoy all 3 activities. So let's first of all start that because we've got 3 particular activities, we're going to have to draw 3 circles, and let's just quickly start by drawing those and labeling them. So I've got A, I've got M, and I've got D. Now, straight away, what does this total need to add up to in terms of numbers? So for starters, I'm going to work with percentages, and that I know that the total needs to add up to 100. So everything inside the box, all the numbers must add up to 100. So let's have a look at breaking up these key bits of information. Now again, a good starting point is always starting in the middle. So let's have a look. Do we know the percentage of people who enjoyed all 3 top activities? Yes, we do. So that middle section is going to be 15%. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little line underneath that just to say that I've used that bit of information. Now, there is no particular order in this. It's just a case of how you break it down, but it is important that you do take your time when working through this. Now the next bit of information I'm going to pick out is 10% enjoy only drama. So what I'm going to try and do is pick out the bits of information that applies to just one section. So 10% enjoy only drama. Well, then that means that the only bit that's D is this section here. So that there must be 10. And that's that bit done. It then says that, picking up another one, so 6% enjoy both art and music but not drama. Now the section that is both art and music but not drama is going to be this part here, so that's going to be 6. And again, I'm going to put a line through that to say I've already used that bit of information. Now the next section then says that 22% enjoy both music and drama. So music and drama is this region here, which I'm just going to highlight in black. So that little middle section between the blue and the green section circle needs to add up to 22. So therefore, if I've got 15 there, then this must add up to 7. So that's that bit done. And then it says 27% enjoy art and drama. Now art and drama is, and again, if I just highlight this in pink, it's going to be this section here. So if that's 27%, 15's in the middle, that means that this number here must be 12. And then finally it then says, I've used that, then finally it then says that 53% is the red circle. So if I add up the contents of the 3 sections, I've got 6 plus 15 plus 12, which is 27, 33, which means then 53 take away 33 adds up to 20. Now from this we know that we've got that the total needs to add up to 100. Now it also says that we're not going to have any numbers outside of those 3 circles because it says at the start that survey of some adults who enjoy at least one of those activities. So there is going to be no one who doesn't like at least one of those activities. So to work out how much is going to be in just music, well, all I need to do is take away every single number that I can see in my diagram away from 100. I don't know why I've wrote an equal sign. I don't know why I've not used rubber. Let's just get rid of that. Now if I add up all the numbers, so here I've got 20 plus 6 plus 15 plus 12 plus 7 plus 10. So working that all out, I've got 20 plus 6, which is 26, plus 15 plus 12 plus 7 plus 10, and that comes up to a total of 70. So I've got 100, take away 70, which adds up to 30. Now from this, I can now that I've completed my Venn diagram, I can now go about answering each of these questions. So from this, the question then says, find the percentage of people who enjoy only music. Now only music is basically this section here, so that's going to be 30%. The next one then says, how many enjoy exactly one activity? Well, if I just get rid of that pink shading, so I can see what it is for each particular. Oh, let's just write that again. So that's 30. So for B, it says enjoy exactly one activity. Well, exactly one activity is going to be these three numbers. So if I add up those three numbers, it's going to give me 60%. And then how many enjoy exactly two activities? Well, exactly two, if I get a different color highlighter, let's go for yellow. So exactly two is going to be this region here, this region here, and this region here. So it's going to be 6 plus 12 plus 7, which 6 plus 12 is 18, plus 7 is going to give you 22. And then from this, what we've then got is, just double check, no, it's going to add up to 25 rather. Thought that seemed odd the moment I wrote it down. And that's going to stick a percentage there. And then finally, how many enjoy music and drama but not art? So music and drama but not art is going to be this number here. So music and art but not drama, music and drama but not art is going to be 7%. And you can see how the advantage of drawing a Venn diagram, yes, it may take you a long while. Yes, we don't need to use all those numbers, but in order to find out the answers to A, B, C, and D, it was made a lot easier by using this Venn diagram.